All right, so bonus season is just about here, right? Well, there's this really sneaky cybercrime that's been picking up steam, and its one and only target is your paycheck. Today, we're going to break down exactly how this silent heist actually works, and way more importantly, what you can do to stop it. So let me just ask you this straight up. Are you 100% positive that your next big paycheck or that holiday bonus you've been waiting for is actually going to land in your bank account? Because I'm telling you, there's a whole new wave of attacks out there specifically designed to make sure it doesn't. And the worst part, you probably won't even notice until it's way too late. We've all heard about ransomware, right? Think of it like a loud, messy bank robbery. I mean, alarms are blaring, systems are locked down. It's just impossible to ignore. But payroll fraud, that's totally different. It's more like a silent pickpocket in a crowded room. It's surgical, it's hidden, and it's in and out before anyone even feels their wallet is missing. Okay, so the fancy term for this is payroll diversion fraud, but let's just cut to the chase. What it really means is a scammer pretends to be you, they trick your HR or payroll team into changing your direct deposit info, and poof, your next paycheck goes straight into their bank account, not yours. Now, you might be thinking this sounds like some super sophisticated high-tech hack, right? But that's the really scary part. It's not. It's shockingly simple. This whole heist, it's not about breaking through firewalls. It's about exploiting human trust. So let's walk through their playbook. Okay, so first up, they do their homework. These attackers are scrolling through LinkedIn, social media, you name it. They're looking for a good target, usually someone who's higher up, likely getting a bigger paycheck. Step 2, they impersonate. They'll shoot off an email or even call the help desk, pretending to be that person. They'll say something like, hey, I'm locked out, or I need to update my bank info, like right now. Then step 3, they divert. And because it's the holiday rush, some well-meaning but totally swamped support person just makes the change. And finally, step 4, they're gone. The money is wired out and it's vanished long before the actual employee even realizes their paycheck never showed up. So you gotta wonder, why is payroll such a goldmine for these guys? Well, for one, it's predictable, it's recurring, but here's the really clever part of the scam. They specifically target bonuses and commissions. Think about it. A big one-time payment, something larger than your usual check, you're way less likely to notice immediately if it goes missing. They're laser-focused on those big payouts. And this is the thing you really need to get. This isn't your firewall failing. This is a failure of process. The attackers aren't brute forcing their way into a system. They're hacking people. They are literally exploiting our natural instinct to be helpful, especially when we're stressed and in a hurry. Which, brings up a really good question. If we have all this expensive, fancy cybersecurity software, why the heck isn't it stopping these attacks? Well, the answer isn't in the tech. It's in what we call the human gap. Look, your firewall is like a bouncer at a club. It's looking for bad guys, malicious code, people trying to sneak in. It is not designed to question someone who has a legitimate-looking ID and walks right through the front door. A direct deposit change request coming through the proper channels to the system, it looks totally normal. No red flags, no alarms go off, nothing. And here's the real kicker. The crime isn't found out when it's happening. No way. It's discovered maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks later when an employee finally pipes up and says, where's my paycheck? And by then, forget about it. The money has been transferred probably multiple times, and the chances of getting it back are, well, they're not great. Okay, so that's the problem. It's sneaky, it's effective, and it's pretty scary. But, and this is a big but, the good news is that the defense is actually really straightforward, and it doesn't require a massive budget. It's all about building what I like to call a human firewall. So here are 4 super effective, low-cost things you can do. First, multi-step verification for any payroll change. Period. An email request has to be followed up with a phone call to a number you already have on file. Second, separate the duties. The person who gets the request should not be the same person who greenlights it. Third, put a pause on changes. Intentionally delay any changes made right before a big payout, like bonuses. It gives you time for an extra look. And fourth, and honestly, this is the big one, train your staff. Your HR folks, your IT help desk, they are on the front lines of this thing. They absolutely have to be trained to spot the warning signs of social engineering. That feeling of weird urgency or sad stories designed to make you act fast. And you need to build a culture where everyone is encouraged to just verify. If you get an email from a coworker asking for something sensitive, just pick up the phone and call them back to make sure it's really them. All right, let's wrap this up. The goal here is really simple. We want to make sure your new year doesn't kick off with a very expensive and totally preventable surprise. Look, if you only remember one thing from all of this, make it this. We pour so much money and energy into worrying about these complex digital threats, right? But so often, the biggest security gap, the widest open door, is just in our normal, everyday, trusted human processes. And the attackers, they know it, and they walk right through it. So the best defense here isn't some shiny new piece of software. It's just awareness. It's just slowing down for 30 seconds to double check a request. That kind of simple discipline costs literally nothing to put in place, but it makes your organization a much harder, much less attractive target for these criminals. And that kind of leaves us with one last thing to think about. We've talked a lot about payroll today because, the money is right there, but it really makes you wonder, right? What other safe internal processes do you have that hinge on a single email or on one quick, unverified, yep, go ahead? Because that's probably where the next silent heist is just waiting to happen.